EdConnect Australia is a not-for-profit organisation who seeks out people in the community that would like to volunteer their time in schools.
My name is Reno Demicoli. I am actually 73 years old, married, and I've been in Australia 38 years. My role in EdConnect is as a mentor mainly, but I started about 3 years ago as what you may call a teacher's aide, and I was actually helping kids with their assignments and numeracy and English language skills and whatever they needed.
My name's Cheryl, and I volunteer in the Breakfast Club at the Northern Bay College Peacock campus, and yes, it's basically making sure the students get a healthy breakfast to start off the day.
My name is Marianne Nyhoff, and my role is sometimes learning support worker, volunteer, and other times mentor. This year and the previous 2 years I've been with Lara Lakes Primary School, and this year it's been with only the first term of course, with the grade ones, teaching them, just catching up on their reading, getting the letters right and doing the alphabet and
We have over 70 volunteers in the Geelong region, working with around 20 schools, primary schools and high schools. And you can volunteer your time to be a classroom support volunteer or a mentor volunteer.
I applied to become a volunteer with EdConnect following a presentation by the Geelong coordinator who came to our retirement village in Lara to do a presentation about EdConnect. I had never heard of the organisation before, but then I actually was looking for something to do following our move from Hoppers Crossing to Lara. And this presented to me a very appropriate opportunity, which I grabbed.
Applied to be a volunteer because I has sort of semi-retired and I was looking for something else to do, and I've always thought if I could be working with children of some, in some capacity, I thought that would be very, very good, beneficial to both sides of it.
Oh, there is a process to join EdConnect. There actually you have to do certain things, like for example after the presentation and after filling in my application to volunteer, there was a bit of an interview process, and following that there was the sort of high-level training, which is a general kind of thing. We'll tell you about EdConnect and what is expected of you and the role that you are applying for, and then you're assigned to a school. And the unit I was assigned to was the 3 to 5s, which is grade 3 to grade 5. So there were children actually between, say, 9 to 12 years old. That was actually something new for me, but eventually I settled down and I started really to enjoy it.
What I had to do before I started volunteering was make sure I had a working with children permit. I also had an interview with Sally, and basically then I had a couple of meetings with the people in charge of the schools, like the principal and the wellness officer, Julia, and then it just went from there. Oh, I also did one training course as well with the EdConnect before too.
So here in Geelong we have volunteers that help schools in their libraries, help schools with their breakfast clubs, and also help in classrooms. It could be anything from food technology, art, listening to children read, or maths, science. Whatever interests that volunteer has, we can try and match those interests in a school. We also have a mentoring program where some of our volunteers spend 1 hour once a week over a calendar year with a student, where they can develop a trusting, warm relationship and helping those students that may be disengaged with their learning at school, helping them to become the best they can be.
When I mentor a student, you just sort of go by what the student needs and what the teacher or the assistant principal has asked you to do. Sometimes it's because the child just isn't cooperating in class or just isn't happy. The teacher feels like he or she needs some extra help, encouragement, self-confidence. You could sit and talk, or you could go out and throw a ball, or you could, play chasey even. Skip rope, ask questions, listen to the answers.
Starting off first, my week is I do Wednesday, Thursday and Friday mornings, roughly an hour to an hour and a half. What I do when I'm there is we organise their breakfast, put their cereal and all their bowls and everything out for them. We make sure they come in an orderly fashion. And yes, we also, they have things like baked beans and that which we'll heat up for them and that sort of thing. And we do from our breakfast club is from prep to grade 5.
Well, I usually dedicate Wednesdays to the school. I go at about 10 o'clock and there is a schedule that you work out with the teachers and the school. I was surprised how quite a few kids related to me and started actually opening up and telling me their fears, their concerns about their background, and you try to actually use your experience and your life experience rather, and to help them in these concerns or fears or life problems that they are facing.
I think EdConnect's good because a lot of students, or younger ones especially, as I was saying before, I don't think they get people prepared to sit down and listen to them or think. So whether you're a mentor or whether you're just serving them breakfast and listening to their, I watched such and such on TV last night, or I did so and so, or one other chap plays soccer and I don't really know a lot about soccer, but I can bluff my way through it, and I always ask about how he scores and what he's doing, and when he gets put into another team, if he gets a better game or something. And so I think if you can do that, I think that's really, it is probably the little things which probably adults think are little, but it's not with them.
EdConnect means a lot to many people, but to me, EdConnect actually is, as they say, you get sometimes more than you give, and this is what I realized after I got into this type of volunteering. Imagine being 4 decades or more, almost 5 decades in the workforce, and then come your retirement days, you feel like you're on the scrap heap, or you're wasting all the experiences and all the efforts that you made throughout your life. So for a start, EdConnect is actually is an opportunity, a golden opportunity for seniors to transfer full-time work to doing something arguably more useful than what you have been doing. There was a big gap in my life after I lost my children, and that provided me with a golden opportunity to actually feel that I still am required and I still have something to give to society. And I would definitely recommend it for people like myself who are retired and who are desperately looking for something to do, something meaningful, and something that they will be remembered for.
I feel that I brought about change to a student in particular's life. When he was a grade 3 child, a big boy, he wasn't able to read. And we played with the alphabet letters and rearranged them, and it's called Spellphabet actually. And he ended up being able to read 5-letter words. And it just so happened the assistant principal dropped in when he was doing one of these activities, and he said, "I can read, Mr. Wood, I can read." It still gives me goosebumps now. Yeah, that's good.
There was a little young fella, he was probably about grade 2, I think, if I remember rightly, and he was had a touch of autism. So he didn't make eye contact and he didn't want to talk to him, and you just got him and he nodded now and then sort of thing. And I can't shut up, as you probably can tell, and I used to just talk non-stop to him, oh, what are you doing, and if he'd bring in a toy, I'd ask about the toy and, things like that, little figurines and that sort of thing. And even his mum said he actually looks forward and wants to come to Breakfast Club because, and he's one of the other people that are there, the other volunteers and that sort of thing at the school said, my goodness, I've never seen him actually make eye contact and sort of, still doesn't talk a lot, but and I get a smile out of him if I see him around when I'm, to go and walk on through the school to go to that sort of thing and that. To me, I just felt so good. And I felt I didn't think it was a big thing, but when it was pointed out to me by somebody else at the school, one of the wellness officers, I went, it's just me talking really, sort of. But that was a really big deal to me, I must admit, yeah.
One day, actually, this kid was brought from another school, and they told me that she has been, since birth, being shoved from one foster home to another. She had massive problems. As I said, she was shoved from one foster home to the other, so she was very unstable, although she was extremely outgoing. She came actually and shook my hand first and introduced herself. So I said, well, this must be a really good kid to mentor. I became her mentor, and eventually she trusted me so much that I was like a grandfather to her. When Father's Day came, and with a little box in her hand, and on the box was, Happy Father's Day, I love you. And I opened the box and there was a little present, and she said to me with a bit of a glint in her eye, you have no children, I have no father, so I bought this for you. I love you. And that was one of the most beautiful moments of my life.